Hello, you're welcome to your program, the NTA2 Business Matters TV program. As a matter of fact, today we are going to be looking at a wonderful topic, one that is so very dear to my heart. In the age of algorithms as well as social media, the impact of the digital world on printing industry is one that we are beginning to experience. As a matter of fact, book publishing has become a major concern, especially for not just the producers themselves, but consumers who are readers. And on this week's edition, we are going to see what exactly the world of book publishing is, especially in this age of digitalization. You're welcome. My name is Stephen Ipalabo Lawson. So many people oftentimes will tell you that they still believe, or rather prefer, the print version of books. Why some other people will tell you that, listen, we are in a digital world, let's do everything digitally. For me, well, I'm still very much old school. Traditional wise, I prefer to read from my own printed copies. Sweeping over and turning the pages of the book actually gives me a very good experience. And let's see exactly how the digital world has brought so much opportunities, and if those opportunities can also be in the area of books and publishing. We will see as the program continues. Let's have a business update.
Hey, beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight. Now reading page 3. Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Intel 4G.
Intel. Live more.
All right, joining us in the studio is a professional who obviously has a great passion in the business of book publishing. And today I have no other person than a wonderful individual who is a certified coach of emotional intelligence and anger management from a prestigious behavioral change academy here in Nigeria. He's also a certified life coach from a New Skills Academic, United States of America. He's a writer, author, public speaker, and publisher. As a matter of fact, he is the best-selling author of the book, How to Never Be Broke Again. As a matter of fact, that itself is an exciting title for a book. And he has written several powerful books on writing and personal development. He's the founder and CEO of Tebiba Global Publishing Limited and lead tutor at Tebiba Academy. Please let's welcome Mr. Emmanuel Olatunji as we explore the topic, book publishing in a digital age. How are you, Emmanuel?
I'm fine.
It's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
You know, books are one of the things I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
I have my own library, and when people keep telling you that you have to save so many things in the cloud, I always prefer in walking into the library and be able to pick up the book from the shelf, hold on to the book. The feeling is a very, lovely one. And then I'm flipping through every single page as the case might be. Does that happen to you, or you're so much of a digital reader?
Well, yeah, I can relate with what you're saying.
Great.
I can relate with it, yeah.
All right, we're looking at book publishing in digital age. Oftentimes, people say that since the onboarding of the digital technology, a lot of people no longer read off the printed pages. Rather, they'll rather go down into either their mobile phones or their iPad or their computers and laptops to be able to read from. And we see that has been ongoing for years. But when we wonder, do we see a situation where the digital technology itself has made book publishing irrelevant, as the case is?
Okay, thank you very much. I wouldn't say it makes book publishing irrelevant. I think, what book publishing is in 20th, 19th century is just different from what it is now. In the 19th, 20th century, if you say you are an author, yes, everyone expects to see your book physically. If your book is not seen, then you are not an author. But that is not really what publishing is. What is, we need to understand what publishing really is. So publishing, technically, really means all the creative work that goes into turning a manuscript into a book. That is really what publishing is. But in the olden days, the previous centuries, there are no technologies to kind of bring about this. So when you write your manuscript, you need to print it before people can believe that you are an author. But thank God for the digital age, so it has really let us to enjoy the sweetness of becoming an author. So today, yes, you don't have to show me your book physically before you can claim that you're an author. All right? So printing is different from publishing. The moment we understand this, then we understand that, okay, the digital age, has not come to, maybe render book publishing useless, or like you said.
So you were looking at the difference between printing and book publishing, as a matter of fact, or publishing, as the case might be. Oftentimes, a lot of people don't seem to know the difference. Perhaps you want to enlighten us more regarding that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so like I said, that publishing literally means, all the creative works that goes into turning the manuscript. So let me paint a picture here. You want to become an author, the first thing is that you need to get your manuscript ready. Everyone knows that. You need to write your ideas or your story or whatever you want to.
It doesn't matter where your manuscripts are written, but perhaps it can be on a notepad or more like a scrapbook.
Yes, exactly.
You have it written down.
So, but that is not yet a book. That is why it is called a manuscript. So what turns that into a book is what publishing really is.
Okay.
All right. So now, if you are talking about publishing, that's when you'll be talking about, okay, you want to design a book cover. Designing a book cover is, one of the aspects of book publishing. It's not just, but it's part of what book publishing is about. So if you are designing a book cover, you are already publishing. Okay. All right? Yes, because there can't be a book without a cover. Okay. All right? So yeah, so that's an aspect of book publishing, all right? So now, aside from the cover, writing a manuscript alone does not make it a book. You need to now, there's what we call formatting and inner layout design. All those are also aspect of design, but these are publishing aspects. All right. If you are not a publisher, you may not even understand what inner layout design is all about. Okay, because when a manuscript is in Word documents, that does not mean that, okay, you can go ahead and just print it like that.
So as a matter of fact, in terms of setting out those pages,
yes, exactly, the pagination, the formatting and all of that, that is what publishing is about. You are already publishing. Okay. Great. So once all that is done, then you can now say you have a book, but not a physical book. That's why we have what we call e-book, and also, maybe hard copy.
True.
All right. So the e-book means electronic. So you can only access the book electronically. You can't see it physically. So you can access it through your smartphone, your iPad, your laptop, or whatever. But you can't, see it physically. So now, how do you now take that book from the electronic version to seeing it physically? That is where printing comes in.
Okay.
That is exactly what printing is. So in printing, you are now saying that, okay, I am taking this book to press. I'm taking it, okay, now I need to get materials. So in printing, you are getting materials. When in publishing, you don't need materials. What you need is your laptop and your creativity. If you have a designer that understands all of this, yeah, he's going to do it for you, okay? Or you have a publishing firm you're working with. So that's publishing. But in printing, you are talking about getting materials. That's when So we have different materials. Maybe you want to use cream paper, white paper, or glossy paper. There are several options.
We know in publishing, especially with this digital age, a lot of people are opting for self-publishing. Self-publishing happens to be far more affordable as compared to you have a book, traditional publishing contracts. Because a lot of authors themselves will feel that, okay, maybe the publishing house may not take my manuscript, and then they are looking at the naira and kobo and the business aspect of it, as the case is. So for somebody who is going through the route of self-publishing, the digital platform itself gives them that advantage.
Exactly.
As the case might be.
So self-publishing simply means, you are, taking responsibility, mainly the financial responsibility for your book. So it doesn't really mean, a lot of people misconstrue what self-publishing means.
Okay.
You know, if I want to become a self-published author, it doesn't mean that I have to, go through all the stress myself. Okay? Like, I don't have to know how to design a cover before I can become a self-published author. But then I must be ready to finance that. Okay? So yeah, so self-publishing is a game changer for us, like you said, and there are so many platforms that that is aiding self-publishers today, publishing authors today. But then it doesn't mean that you have to go through the stress of publishing your book for yourself, because the reason I'm saying this, a lot of people, they are abusing self-publishing today.
Okay.
You don't have the knowledge, that you don't have what it requires to kind of deliver a standard book out there. The ideal thing to do is to get an expert, work with an expert, or work with a self-publishing firm, that is going to, handle your book for you, and you just pay the firm, and then you retain all the rights. So you are still a self-published author. In fact, as a self-publisher, you have 100% authority over that book. You can decide anything. You can say, no, I don't want this cover. But in traditional publishing, your options are limited. It's the publisher that has authority, like maybe 80% authority over whatever they are doing.
When you look at the Harry Potter series,
yes,
J.K. Rowling became a billionaire.
Exactly,
just from selling books.
Yeah.
Does that happen in Nigeria?
Well, yeah, there are so many authors that are actually making sales in Nigeria.
Well, don't mention the Wole Soyinkas and the rest of those ones are in a class of their own.
They're in a class of their own. Sure.
People get the impression that Nigeria as a society is not a reading society. The reading culture here is very poor compared to where you have maybe in the United States or in Europe or even South Africa to a large extent, where you have book bestsellers listing, you have book reviews and the rest of
exactly.
that. But here we never do so much of that. Could that be a factor responsible for the fact that the business of books or books publishing in this age, which is digital, especially for the Nigerian culture, have a lot of businesses in that space not doing as excellently as they should do?
Thank you very much. I also touched on this when I was talking about the self-publishing. Many of this thing is due to the fact that the self-published authors, they've kind of bastardized that kind of opportunity, because I see it as an opportunity for you to say you can publish your book yourself. However, there are still so many people really doing well today. Now, when people say that Nigerians are not readers, or in Africa they don't read, I see it as a matter of your audience. Every book has its audience. Every book. If you are writing a book, you need to have an audience in mind. If you don't have a specific audience in mind and you go ahead to publish that book will not, people may buy it, but it may not be successful because there is no clarity, of an audience that you are talking to. So why will I buy a book? When I was writing my book that you mentioned earlier, I had a specific audience in mind. I was not writing to everybody. I was not trying to sell to the whole of Nigerians. No, I have a specific audience, and I was clear on my audience, and that clarity formed every decision I took on that book.
So it's more like the market, the target market with which the book itself is going on.
Yes.
Because a book is a product in its own right.
Exactly. I've worked with a lot of people, and when you ask them that question, that, okay, who is your audience? Everybody. Everybody. You cannot, even
everybody seems to take
even Obama can write a book for everybody. So why should you say, like, okay, you are writing? So these are the things that is kind of hampering the success of, authors today. So it is not that people don't read. People don't read. I buy books a lot. I have a lot of people that I know that they invest heavily in books. How many
books do you have in your library?
Like, I can't count. Like, there was a time, there was a time I actually spent, like, I don't want to, in 6 figures to buy books. I'm serious. Like, I've been a lover of books. I never even knew I'll become a publisher in the long run, but I've been a lover of books because I know that, readers are leaders, according to the saying. All right. So if I want to be a leader, I need to be able to be a reader. I need to read. All right. So I invest heavily in books rather. So, and that has really, really impacted my success today. So definitely, people are reading.
All right.
But if you want to be an author, you need to have an ideal audience in mind. Don't try to write a book. A target market.
All right. Thank you very much, viewers. Like on Business Matters, time always flies. But we have a commercial break. As soon as we are back, the conversation continues in the world of book publishing in a digital age.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Intel 4G.
Intel. Live more.
All right, viewers, you're welcome back. This is Business Matters, and we're looking at book publishing in the digital age. With me in the studio is Mr. Emmanuel Olatunji. How are you again, one more time?
I'm awesome.
Looking at books, because I mean, you and I share something that I'm very passionate about. Books, I love books.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I still have volumes that I'm yet to read. The problem now is that the digital platform these days, a lot of people do a lot of browsing. Now, you've made a case that people actually read.
Yeah.
Although that is debatable, a lot of people will tell you that they browse more than read. And then reading and studying are also two different disciplines because one is far more concentrated, while the other seems to be more of a leisure affair.
Yeah.
However, if you look at the evolution of digital technologies in this day and age, we know, for example, that Audible, which is an audio publisher, said in several years ago they made over $1 billion. You know, and then we have the issues. We have different platforms as podcasts.
Yeah.
We also have those where people do audiobooks, as the matter of fact.
Yeah.
With an industry as that, which has been brought about by the evolution of digital technology, why is it that we don't see it in this part of the world, especially in Nigeria? I mean, I don't imagine people make so much money from podcasts or even audiobooks, as the case might be.
Yes.
What is the
Thank
deal?
you so much for that question. Okay, the truth is that we are yet to scratch the surface in Africa, especially in Nigeria. You know, we are yet to really explore what, you know, the digital age has offered us in the world of book publishing. We are yet to really, really explore it. When you get to first world countries, you know, this thing is no longer news. Like, people don't have to kind of hold a book like this before they can say they are reading. They are in their car, they are reading.
True.
Because there is, you know, the audiobook that you mentioned. So, yeah, I think it's a thing of, you know, when you are used to something, when you are too used to something, before you can kind of change, you know, it may take a while. Like, it's like an habit. It's difficult to change. I don't have all the answers. I don't know all the reasons, but I know that we'll definitely get there because, like,
maybe in the next century, who knows?
because expert like us, you know, we are, you know, publishers, we are really, really, you know, changing the game. We are bringing, you know, more clarity. We are kind of enlightening people. We're letting them to know that, see, you don't have to print your book before you can say you're an author. No, you don't.
So if I publish a podcast, for example, of a book or of a theme or series, can I make lay claims to the title of being an author as well? Would that qualify as
Exactly, yes. Audiobook is part of publishing. We need to understand the concept of publishing. Once we understand the word, then we'll be able to comprehend, you know, all that it has to offer. So it is not until you release a book itself. It is audiobook. There are some books that they are not available in, not even digital format or maybe paperback, that's ebook, but they are available in audiobook format. So audiobook format is also, you are also an author.
Now, I'm going to ask you this. A Kindle or the hard copy of a book, which will be your choice?
That's a tricky question. Well, a lot of people, I think I am of like maybe 50-50. Like, I can do well with both.
That is being politically correct. It has to be an either or.
I can do well with both.
But I think that the digital age brought about the rise of the Kindle. Amazon, for example, became one of the richest companies.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, the founder became one of the richest men.
Yeah.
From just selling books. You know, for me, that itself is a major concern. However, do we not see certain kinds of pitfalls or demerits or disadvantages that comes with in the digital age that my own content and copyright can be mass produced without any returns to me? Where does the right and the protections of an author's intellectual property comes in this digital frame?
Thank you very much for that question. So let me share just a brief story. So I have a friend of mine who published a book. I think it was available as an ebook All right. I think one day I don't know, I joined one WhatsApp group, I can't really remember, and you know, all of a sudden someone shared some kind of ebooks in the group, and that my friend book happened to be one of, and I know that he was selling that book. The book was not free, so that's like the demerits of the, but yeah, platform. You mentioned a platform right now. You said Kindle. So platforms like that, they are correcting that demerits.
Even
Like,
Amazon, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So if your
is
book,
it which other
yeah,
where you
there
can
are so many platforms.
you can
There are
actually
so many
get
platforms. I don't
in,
want to just mention
yeah.
names here. Yeah, there are so many platforms. So many of these platforms, they prohibit, like people to kind of share, so you can't infringe on author's copyrights if you are buying any book on that platform. Yes, because you have to pay to access the book, and when you're accessing the book, it is on the platform. So Kindle is a platform. It's a software. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So if you purchase any book on Kindle, it remains in Kindle.
Okay. So I can print it
No.
off
No,
offline.
no,
As the
no.
case might
So
be.
they have a sophisticated software that prevents all of that, and so many other platforms like that. Even we, here in Nigeria, we are doing that as well. So that is why, if you want to, explore digital publishing, it is wise to work with, a trusted publisher, you know, who can help you to publish your book, and give you the access to be able to profit from that book without your book being, like copyrighted, like without any copyright issues, like people infringing on your copyright and all
All
of
right.
that. Yeah.
What is the future of book as a way of concluding today's conversation?
I think it's, yeah. For me, I always say that as long as the word remains, book will still continue to exist. Yes, because people will continue to read, because it is through reading that we get so many things. Like, I get to know my history through reading. Like, I was okay, even Jesus Christ and all of that, without reading, there is no how I was going to know those stories existed and all of that. Yeah. So definitely, the future of book publishing is for me, it is
It's still
still,
obviously
yeah,
secured.
it's secured.
You
Yeah.
know,
For
I
me,
always say,
irrespective of the technology
yeah.
that comes in.
I always say that if you look at the Bible, for example, in the book of Revelation,
Yeah.
they said at the end of life, a world or something, and then the
Two books.
two books were
Yeah,
open.
yeah, there are books. Yeah.
So for me, it means that
Yeah.
the books will still be relevant
It's still
far
relevant.
into the future,
Exactly, it's
as
still
the case
relevant. Yeah.
might be. You
And that's
know,
why I always say that there is a book in every human.
there's a
Yes,
book in
there is
every
a
human.
best-selling book in every
Fantastic.
human. So if you have not yet read that book, find that message in you. There is at least one book in every human.
Fantastic. That's a better,
Thank you.
wonderful way to actually conclude today's
Thank you so much.
interview.
Thank
I want
you.
to say a big thank you, Emmanuel.
Yeah,
And
all right.
like you said, there is a book right now within in you. You have a message you want the world to listen to. Make sure you explore the digital technologies that are available in this age to help you become a published author, as the case might be. There's so much we can bring to you on the interview session. Please hold on or stay tuned as Business Matters continues after this short break. Viewers, thank you so very much for being with us on this edition. I'm so excited about it because books are one of the things that I love so much. If you know me very well, you know that I have a house full of books. It's just one of the ways you can actually escape from the reality of this world and then come back with so many wonderful ideas with which you can create all kinds of innovation. There is a book in you, there is one in me, which I'll be publishing sooner than not. And then definitely let's have some of those stories being told. Please follow us on all our social media handles. Business Matters is here for you. We are more than happy. And we're open to advertisement as well as sponsorship. So you can reach out to our marketing department or my producer, as the case might be. And definitely we can bring to you the content and the kinds of things you want to see on our program. My name remains Stephen Ipalabo Lawson. I want to say one more time again, thank you for staying tuned. Bye-bye for now.